Sallie B. Howard School of Arts and Science, Wilson, North Carolina, is launching an endowment to make sure that our work and the mission that we are on continues for generations. We were one of the first 32 schools in North Carolina to be awarded a charter, and from the very start, we had vision for serving a very underserved community of children and families of color and low income. So we're embarking upon the endowment so that for generations to come, when I'm long gone and everybody else here is all gone and made their transition, that we continue to provide this service and this labor for our community.
My favorite memory has to be the first day of school when I had came here. I started here in 4th grade, and I remember walking into one of our old teachers' class, Miss Graves, when she was still here teaching. I walked into her class, and I remember she came up to me and she said, "Hi, I'm Miss Graves and I am your 4th grade teacher." And I remember all the kids were so excited to meet me, and they had no idea who I was. They all just came towards me running, and they were like, "Hey, this is my name, and this is gonna be your seat, and we're gonna teach you all about the school." Like, everybody was just so friendly, and that's something I never experienced at any other school. So obviously when that happened, I just knew this was the spot for me.
The dance program at Sallie B. Howard School impacted my life all the way around. From being young to how I act now, it taught me so much mentally and physically. It taught me discipline, integrity, perseverance. The whole pride that was taught at the school carried from dance program to who I am now.
Because of Sallie B, you know, whenever I went to school, I got to breathe and I got to enjoy, you know, drawing with Mr. Scott, you know, and I got to enjoy playing tennis with Mr. Scott, and I got to enjoy being able to write an essay and being chosen to go to India, you know. And I never thought I was, I guess, not necessarily saying deserving, but capable of that. But Sallie B showed me you can do that and more.
Sallie B. Howard is a unique institution in the sense that it is a public school, but it's a public school devoted to things that our public schools have kind of moved away from. It has a lot of some would say rules and regulations that perhaps the general public schools have gotten away from, which everybody can't function under. It's a good alternative though for them. It also has the focus on the arts and in later years the biotech in the high school area. So we're filling needs that the community has without duplicating.
Well, one of our goals at Sallie B. Howard School is to prepare our kids to be global citizens. And what better could it be to have global and universal values and cultures exist within this one building? When our parents come, they interact with me, they interact with a Jamaican teacher or a Filipino teacher or a Mexican teacher or somebody from Kenya, and they see the world existing within Sallie B. Howard boundaries and walls. Travel can teach a child what classroom teaching can teach maybe in a year. One trip abroad, a couple of weeks of travel with some study included can do that. I have seen that happen at Sallie B. Howard School. Impact is profound. They go and they see cultures outside of the country, not just outside of Wilson. They see people living differently, praying differently, talking differently, eating differently, and they are good people.
Well, an endowment, as much as possible, ensures perpetuity. We can't tell what tomorrow's going to bring. Charter schools were a creature of the legislature. The North Carolina General Assembly has been referred to as the most powerful legislative body on the face of the earth because they're just a huge, strong force in the state. And what they've given, they can take away. They're very, very mindful of their authority and abilities. So tomorrow, we could be facing a situation where we no longer have funding primarily through the state, and we would be faced with the question of what we're going to do with this facility, with these students, with these people who have these needs. Hopefully, the endowment would allow us to continue indefinitely in that fashion.
More than 80% of our students are proficient in the state exams, EOCs, EOGs, and we serve 99% children of low-income status, school-wide Title I. That's unheard of. How do you do that? Closing the achievement gap is the big issue in education in America. We were recognized as a National Blue Ribbon School in 2021 by the U.S. Department of Education because of exemplary performance, not 1 year, but 3 years consecutively, and even this year, this is the 4th year. So we've been recognized for the fact that somehow, some way, we are able to close the achievement gap and allow or enable our children to be successful academically.
I was lucky to go to Sallie B that made me the strong person that I am today. Because, you know, as a Latino kid, you always feel like you're battling, you're going against battle after battle, and there's one thing and another, but just knowing that there's people that can have your back and always, you know, planted that seed that you can do it, you can do it. I remember, I mean, the principal, you know, called me Miss El Presidente, and I'll be the future president of Mexico because I'm so smart and you are so intelligent. And that right there in itself, it's a motivation, you know, somebody believing at a young age and putting that in your head, you're like, well, you know what? I can do it. You know, if she's telling me, you know, and she's been in this for long, I am smart, you know, and not saying that I wasn't, but you believe in yourself even more, you know, you push yourself even harder because there's people believing in you, and that's amazing.